Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going over the SureFire X400 Ultra. It's a 500 lumen output light with the red laser. Now there's also a green laser version available. That one, just a real quick and dirty comparison of the two, is going to cost you some more money. The green laser is also going to drain your battery faster. And the advantage of it, according to some folks, is that it gives you better, gives your eyes the ability to pick it up better in bright sunlight, I should say. That said, I've used this red laser and other red lasers in plenty of bright sunlight. I've personally never had any issues picking them up, but I do know some folks with their eyesight do prefer the green laser, so it's sort of just a personal preference thing depending on your eyesight and your budget, because that one's a little more expensive as well. But what we're going to do next is step outside, compare this in terms of output with a Streamlight TLR1 HL, which is their high output version, and see how they compare. I do not have the TLR2, which would be the laser high output version, so I don't have that. I just have the standard 2, so we're going to skip that. Compare the outputs of the high output version of the Streamlight versus this, which is the high output version of the SureFire, sort of the top two pistol lights, if you will, comparing the output, and then come back in, take a closer look at it, and then get into what I think of it overall. Here's the light from the X400. You can see there it's got a good hot spot. That corner is right about 40 to 45 yards away, and the barn here is about 25 meters away. You can see my dogs getting out there on camera, and it illuminates them extremely well, almost sort of whites them out at distance. Not sure if you can see the laser there because it sort of is such a bright light here, and the camera isn't exactly doing a great job of picking it up, but I'll switch it over so you guys can see what the actual laser looks like. There is the laser itself. Travels out the distance just fine. Obviously entertains the dogs, which is always entertaining in and of itself. They're chasing it like idiots. But you can see there, it's good times for sure. Oh, where'd it go? He doesn't know. Oh, he found it again. All right, so that's the spill pattern, beam pattern, I should say. Good hot spot, plenty of spill. Really does a good job overall in terms of all-around illumination here. Now, to compare, here is the TLR2, or TLR HL, excuse me. Another good high output weapon light, and just we'll compare the two here. Here's our SureFire, here's the Streamlight, and you can see they're both extremely bright, have a good balanced overall output. As we just saw, the output's pretty impressive in terms of size compared to the TLR series. Here's how it looks. Here we have our X400, X300, TLR1, and TLR2. So you'll see that the SureFire is going to stick out a little bit further than the TLR versions are. And versus the 300 here, which some of you guys may be familiar with, 300 Ultra, you can kind of see how much sort of mass it adds on there with the laser being mounted on the bottom. Now, there are some other differences besides that. As you can see, looking at it here from the side, the way it attaches is different as well on the X400 versus the X300. The X400 attaches actually pretty similar to the way that the Streamlights do. So it has the screw on the side with different inserts here. On the X400, you have your Picatinny and your universal adapter inserts. So use whichever one's recommended for the firearm that you're going to be using it on, and you just put it on your rail system and tighten it down. So just to show you, for instance, here on our HK45 with the 300, you have to push down on these tabs here on the side and slide it in, whereas on the X400 you can just loosen it up and find the rail section that it actually fits in there, and then at this point you just finger tighten it down until it's snugged up, and it's on there just fine. At that point, you can go into the operation of it. So as you can see here, it's ambidextrous. You can either push up or push down. It will stay in place when you actually push down on it and hold it. You don't have to continue to put pressure on it, so you can activate whatever the light laser is that you want to use and then get back into firing and turn it off. You can also do momentary by just pushing on it, pushing forward on either side. And on the bottom here, you can select what you have on there. We had just laser on there because the light sort of washes out the camera. But if you want to put them both on, you can do that. If I can actually do it right, by putting it on the bottom, and you'll have both. The body of the light is constructed from one piece of aluminum, and they say that it's weatherproof. They don't claim waterproof, but if you take a look really everywhere on the light, like when you open the battery compartment here by just pushing back on this little tab, you'll see everything there is O-ring sealed. Incidentally, it does run on two CR123 batteries, and it'll give you 1.5 hours of runtime with that 500 lumen output. So plenty of output as we saw outside, and the runtime is not terrible either there, especially considering that you can have the laser running at the same time with that output. Now, if you go with the green laser model, that will eat battery a little bit faster, so just keep that in mind when you're looking at the two models. The laser unit on the bottom here is attached via these nylock screws, 4 of them all the way around. Now, nylock screws, for those that don't know, are screws that are from a material called nylock, obviously. And what that material does is it sort of self-tightens and self-adheres when you actually screw it down. It's not the way it is, but practically speaking, think of a Loctite being on there internally in the material, if that makes sense to you guys. So when you actually tighten them down, they're in place, and the recoil of a weapon system is not going to cause them to come loose. SureFire's done extensive testing with this on a lot of different weapons platforms and have not had an issue. I haven't had an issue, and honestly, I've never heard of it. And these lights have been out for a few years now, so it does seem like a pretty solid mounting solution. The reflector and lens combo in there is what SureFire calls the TIR lens, and what that does is it projects an output like we saw outside that has a very good close in to medium engagement distance output. So basically, if you're looking for an extreme thrower that's going to give you illumination out to like 300 meters, this probably isn't the one you're going to want to look at. But for home defense, self-defense, really anything out to say 75 meters, maybe even 100, sort of stretching it, you should have good illumination of whatever you're looking at. When these lights first came out, it was really difficult to find holsters for them, but nowadays there's really not a ton, but there's definitely more, including LAG Tactical. They do make holsters for them, and that's what we've been using in this video. Incidentally, they do also offer a discount to channel viewers here, so that's a good thing. You can enter the code here in your screen, and I believe get 10% off any of their products, so you certainly can't complain about that. But they do make nice holsters. We've done reviews here on the YouTube channel before, and they work well, and they're good quality holster. This light really is at the top of the hierarchy of laser light combinations out there. It's ultra high quality, super rugged, super durable, has a great output that we've seen here today. I like the mounting system. Really, there's not a whole lot to complain about here with this light, especially now that holsters are available for them. The downside of it is going to be cost. SureFires aren't cheap. SureFires with lasers are even more. So this one, if you take a look at their MSRP, I think it's like $600, but ignore that. Street price on these suckers is going to be anywhere from like $380 to $450, at least as of today's video. So they are expensive. That is, you know, as much as some of the pistols out there cost. But in my opinion, I do like having a weapon mounted light. I think it adds to the capabilities of the weapon system for sure. And the reality is most shootings, at least defensive shootings, occur in low light situations, so it's good to have a very high quality light on there. And like I said, this one certainly is near the top of the hierarchy. I was looking around today, and on Amazon I think I saw one for $380 shipped. So they're expensive, yes, but they're very good. And if you're looking for something that's sort of the top of the line to be mounted up in your pistol, or even if you want to run a laser light combination on a long gun, it's definitely one I'd look at if it's in your budget. If not, you know, there certainly are other options out there that'll do a good job. We've reviewed a few here, but this one sort of is the cream of the crop, if you will. If you guys have any other questions that I didn't cover here in the video, you can always post below in the comment section. You can also post over at my Facebook page as always. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. I truly appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next video.